Have you ever noticed how much time and energy we spend worrying about what others think of us? From our actions and appearance to the choices we make, the pressure to meet external expectations can feel overwhelming. We often find ourselves seeking approval and validation from others, which can lead to stress, self-doubt, and even a loss of our authentic selves. But what if the key to living a more fulfilling, peaceful life lies in letting go of this constant need for validation? What if, by releasing the weight of others' opinions, you could unlock true freedom, clarity, and happiness? When you stop caring about what others think and start living for yourself, remarkable things begin to happen. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful changes that take place when you let go of the fear of judgment and embrace a more authentic way of living. These transformations can be life-changing, helping you gain greater peace of mind, build healthier relationships, and reconnect with who you truly are. 1. You gain true freedom to be yourself. Imagine waking up in the morning and your very first thoughts are entirely your own. No intrusive worries about societal expectations, no concerns about what others might think of your choices. No pressure to live up to a standard that isn't even yours. Your mind is free from the invisible weight of judgment that we all unknowingly carry around. That's what freedom feels like when you stop caring so much about what other people think. This sense of freedom extends into every part of your day. When you get dressed, you pick clothes that make you feel confident and comfortable, not the ones you think others expect you to wear. You engage in conversations where you speak your mind openly without fear of backlash or judgment. And the best part? You start to realize that while not everyone may agree with you, your voice matters. It's your truth, and it deserves to be heard. This feeling of liberation is something we all crave, yet we rarely experience. Why? Because we are often too focused on keeping up appearances or worrying about the opinions of others. But once you start letting go, you begin to notice how much lighter your life becomes. The sense of freedom is like a deep breath of fresh air that nourishes your soul. Think about it. How exhausting is it to constantly monitor yourself, to question every action and word, to filter everything through the lens of what will they think? Now imagine a life where you don't have to do that. Imagine living in alignment with who you truly are, unapologetically. This is a kind of liberation that's essential for your growth and well-being. It allows you to tap into your authentic self, a version of you that isn't trying to fit into molds that were never made for you. Instead of draining your energy pretending to be someone you're not, you begin to channel that energy back into yourself, nurturing your own dreams, desires, and potential. Think of the times when you've put on a facade, when you've said or done things to avoid judgment or criticism. How did that make you feel? Chances are, it was exhausting. When you live to meet others' expectations, you sacrifice your authenticity, and that sacrifice comes at a high cost. It's mentally draining to play a role that doesn't feel true to who you are. But the moment you stop caring about others' judgments, you reclaim that energy and redirect it toward yourself. 2. Clarity and simplicity in decision-making. When you're constantly trying to please others or live up to their expectations, every decision you make feels like walking through a minefield. You overthink, second-guess, and worry about how every action might be perceived. It's paralyzing. But when you stop caring about others' opinions, something incredible happens. Your mind becomes clearer, and decision-making becomes far more straightforward. Think about it. How many times have you been stuck in a mental loop, replaying scenarios in your head, wondering if you made the right choice based on how others might see you? Now, imagine the freedom of making decisions based solely on your own values, desires, and intuition. When you stop letting others' judgments dictate your actions, you begin to trust yourself more. You're no longer weighed down by the what-ifs and should-haves that used to clutter your mind. This newfound clarity not only simplifies decision-making but also reduces stress and anxiety. Your mental energy is no longer consumed by trying to anticipate how others will react. Instead, you focus on what truly matters to you. You start to make decisions that align with your own sense of right and wrong, not based on the fear of judgment. One of the most immediate benefits of this mental clarity is the reduction in emotional exhaustion. When you stop caring so much about what others think, You stop replaying conversations and interactions in your head. You're not constantly analyzing how you could have phrased things differently to please others. Your mind becomes a more peaceful place, free from the endless cycle of self-criticism. Physiologically, this shift has a profound impact. Your body starts to relax, your heart rate steadies, and the knots in your stomach begin to loosen. As your mind clears, you're able to see situations for what they truly are, not through the distorted lens of fear and judgment. And this clarity creates a positive feedback loop. When your mind is clearer, you make better decisions. And when you make better decisions, your mental and emotional well-being improves. 3. You're no longer drained by people-pleasing. People-pleasing is exhausting. It's a never-ending cycle of compromise, where you bend and shape yourself to fit the expectations of others, often at the expense of your own well-being. When you're constantly trying to make everyone else happy, there's little energy left for yourself. It's like offering water from your well to everyone who passes by, but never stopping to replenish it. Eventually, you're left dry and empty. But when you stop caring so much about what others think, something amazing happens. You stop people-pleasing. You no longer feel the need to sacrifice your own needs, desires, and well-being just to make others comfortable. Instead, you start prioritizing yourself. And this isn't selfish. It's an essential act of self-preservation. When you stop people-pleasing, you begin to operate from a place of authenticity. You're no longer making decisions based on what you think others want from you. Instead, you're driven by your own desires and dreams. This shift in focus allows you to pour your energy into things that truly matter to you: your passions, your personal growth, and your happiness. Consider how much emotional and mental energy you've spent trying to meet others' expectations. Now imagine what you could accomplish if you redirected that energy toward your own goals. When you stop caring about pleasing others, you unlock a reservoir of energy that can be channeled into your personal and spiritual growth. You begin to live more intentionally, making choices that align with your values rather than bending to fit someone else's. And here's the thing: when you prioritize your own well-being, you become more capable of giving to others in meaningful ways. Genuine self-love and self-care allow you to show up as the best version of yourself. You're not drained and depleted from constant compromise. Instead, you have the energy and emotional capacity to nurture your relationships and contribute to your community in a more authentic way. 4. You set healthy boundaries. One of the most powerful things that happens when you stop caring about what others think is that you begin to set healthy boundaries. You stop bending over backward to accommodate everyone else's needs and start protecting your own emotional and spiritual well-being. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's a way of saying to yourself and others that your well-being is valuable and worth protecting. Boundaries help you define what behavior is acceptable and what is not. They create a clear line between what you're willing to tolerate and where you draw the line. When you care too much about others' opinions, it's easy to let those boundaries blur. You may find yourself saying yes when you really mean no, or agreeing to things that don't align with your values just to avoid conflict or disappointment. But when you stop caring so much, you begin to set firm boundaries that protect your time, energy, and mental health. These boundaries aren't about shutting people out or becoming rigid. They're about creating space for yourself to thrive. When you set boundaries, you're better able to nurture your own growth and well-being. You stop feeling guilty for prioritizing your own needs, and you become more intentional about where you invest your energy. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to others' needs. In fact, when you set boundaries, you're often able to show up for others in a more genuine and present way. By taking care of yourself first, you ensure that you have the capacity to care for others without feeling drained or resentful. Number 5, you become the gardener of your own happiness. Perhaps the most transformative thing that happens when you stop caring about what others think is that you take back control of your own happiness. You stop looking for validation from external sources and begin to cultivate happiness from within. Think of your happiness as a beautiful garden. When you rely on others for validation, it's like letting someone else tend to your garden. They may water the plants or they may let them wither. But when you take charge, you become the gardener of your own well-being. You water the plants, remove the weeds, and ensure that your garden flourishes. This shift from external validation to internal happiness builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, full of ups and downs. But when your happiness comes from within, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges without being thrown off balance. You've created a sanctuary within yourself, a place of peace and joy that no one else can touch. This inner strength doesn't just benefit you, it also enhances your relationships. When you're no longer seeking happiness from others, you approach relationships from a place of wholeness. You're not relying on someone else to fill a void or meet an unmet need. Instead, you bring your whole, happy self to the relationship, allowing for deeper and more authentic connections. In conclusion, letting go of caring too much about what others think isn't about becoming indifferent or detached. It's about freeing yourself from the mental and emotional burdens that prevent you from living authentically. When you stop caring so much about external validation, you gain true freedom, clarity, energy, and happiness. You begin to live life on your terms, in alignment with your values and desires. So, the next time you find yourself worrying about what others think, ask yourself, does their opinion really matter? Or is it time to let go and embrace the incredible things that happen when you stop caring? Your journey to greater peace, freedom, and happiness starts with that one powerful choice. Let us know in the comments, which of these transformations resonates with you the most? How have you experienced the benefits of caring less in your own life? Share your story, and let's continue this journey of self-discovery together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires you to live authentically and fearlessly.